What up? It's DJ Envy. Now, shout out to Real Estate Heat TV. They got the hottest new real estate channel. Shout out to my man, real estate coach, Anthony Legins.
Hey, and welcome to this episode of How to Buy the Hood. I am your host, real estate coach and mentor, Anthony Legins. And I am super geeked and excited to have my main man, Reggie Davidson, here today. Man, in the house, man. This brother, man, he works so hard. He a hard man to catch up with, man. I done been knowing Reggie, man, for a few years. We've been doing business together and always dealt over the phone because he's up in Flint and I'm down in the Detroit area and I was in the Lansing area. So we never had a chance to connect in person until actually, well, it was this week, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, this past week. It was great. You know, I was out at his office building, his office center, and I got to check out his whole operation, man. It was fantastic, man. You know, I want to just tell you a little bit about this great man here. He is the president of Legal Research One. He is the owner of Flushing Professional Suites, and he is the managing paralegal of the Flint Intake Center for Napoli Skolnick.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're doing big things out there in Flint. Man, go on and shout yourself out there, brother Reggie.
Yes. Thank you, man. I mean, you know, that was a great introduction, brother. You made me feel like I'm somebody special, which I know I am anyway. But yeah, we're doing the first work up here, and we operate under the concept that many hands make for light work. And so we're really excited because we're excited about what you're doing in terms of especially people of color being able to buy back the hood and put a stake in the ground. And so I'm just happy to be a part of the show, and let's get into it.
Hey, man. Tell us a little bit, you know, who you are, Reggie, and how did you get into real estate in the first place? Because you're on a whole nother level with it, man. You out here buying whole office buildings and things of that nature, brother. So how can a brother, man, you know, tell us a little bit about your background, man, and how you got to the level where you at today?
Well, you know, interestingly enough, man, I as a contract paralegal, I offer services to attorneys, document preparation services primarily, whether it's criminal law, corporate law, you know, basics, micro businesses primarily. So I do a lot of corporate formation, especially with the law office of attorney Harold Millhouse. We form businesses for people. And, you know, I was renting out of a building, and the gentleman that owned the building one day came and asked me to buy it. And I was like, man, I don't have no money. And he was like, no, you can go get some money. You was highly motivated because I was in the building renting a suite, and there was several other suites in there that was unoccupied. And I told them if they open up a universal conference room that people can sign up to use, then if they bought internet for the building and had that included in on it, they could attract more people that may be willing that just needed a suite, a small business, a micro business. We talking about 5 people or less. And so it worked, and I filled the building up for them. And I got a discount on my rent for everybody I helped get in there. And then I end up making sure the common areas and everything was clean. So there was a universal lobby that everybody could use, and there was a universal conference room that everybody could use, and everybody had internet. So they wanted to be in this spot. And when he saw how I put that together, you know, he came and offered me the building one day. And I was upset. I'm like, man, why is you coming at me? I don't have no money. And he was like, oh, no, you can make it happen. And sure enough, I put it out in the atmosphere. And this one sister, because, you know, Flint got hit with the water crises. And, you know, Mr. Gore that owned the Pistons, he ended up putting up $1 million in the form of $10,000 grants for businesses. And I ended up hooking up with the chamber, and I helped 36 people get $10,000 grants. And so because
Impacting
of that,
lives.
you know, that opened up the door for a couple people were like, hey man, what can I kind of like invest in? And believe it or not, the man offered me a land contract. I wrote the land contract up, and I was able to get this building on land contract. And after a couple years of having the building, you know, I had to get my pay and weight up. My credit was shaky, and so I had to get my credit up. And I was able to do those things. And eventually I financed out the land contract, you know, was able to even get a little cash to close, to continue with the improvements. And now the building is 95% rented out and is owner occupied. And so we doing our thing.
Oh, yes, you are, man. Brother, you are a brilliant Black man. I just want to let you know, man, because see, it was your creativity, man, and your creative ideas that you not only came up with, you helped implement and took action upon, that opened up doors that you didn't even imagine for yourself. You didn't think that the office, you know, building that you were probably, you know, paying the rent in, that you were going to be the owner. You
That's
know what
correct.
I'm saying?
That's
you got
correct.
a wonderful operation, man. You got it going on, man. You got the 2 separate buildings there, man. It's popping, man. You know, I hear you out here, you know, you was telling me about that other, you know, we ain't gonna put that out there, but
that's fine.
You out
that's
here
fine.
making some other deals, you know, man,
Yeah.
making moves, man. You know, it's real inspiring, man. And I didn't, you know, he did kind of tell me about that before, but I know that, you know, you guys need to hear stuff like that, because it's really about taking it from here, you know what I'm saying, taking definite action upon it, you
Action.
and quick action. I mean, don't sit there and hold it up either, you know what I mean?
Well, see, you
gotta jump on it.
A lot of times, just like a formula you and I were talking about that you used in terms of land contract, a lot of times we have ideals and we don't have resources. And one of the things I like about your show is you're allowing our ideals to be able to meet up with resources and come up creative ways for those two to meet, because that's generally the condition in our community: financing and resources. And be in position. And as you say all the time, we don't know the rules. So oftentimes, because we don't know the rules, we can't play the game. The traditional real estate route is a beautiful route, but I was blessed to be able to come in through an alternative route creatively, like you said. And we really need, as a wealth alternative, to consider real estate. And we sleep a lot of times on housing. You know, in our neighborhoods. Number one, we should buy the house. We should stop renting. Everybody should, if they can, purchase a home, buy into it, and make sure it has some equity, because now you have something you can leverage to continue to increase your wealth. Leverage. That's a key, leverage. And so, you know, segue from now renting out of the building, owner operator. So I'm still in the building using it, and I'm able to rent out. So the rent off the building itself is okay, but you know, I'm able to, off the operation I run now, it allows me to generate a little more because I ain't worried about the expenses of the building. And so that's another way to increase your pay, as they would say in the street, get your bag up and things like that. And so then, as a contract paralegal, I wanted to parlay use of the building more. So this law firm that came in because of the water crisis, Napoli Skolnick, one day a brother out of Detroit, attorney John Simpson, he owns Savannah Blue, the restaurant downtown in Detroit on Town Square. Really, really nice spot. I met him up here with the actor Hill Harper. They was at a church pitching people to sign up for the lawsuit. And I asked him, I said, well, where's your office at in Flint? And they was like, we don't have an office in Flint. I said, well, how you signing up all these people in Flint for the water crisis lawsuit, and they don't have a place to come process their paperwork? Well, they gonna do it online. Well, brother, this is a poor and depressed town with a lot of seniors who are not computer literate, in the sense that they're gonna be processing that level of paperwork online. So I had a few meetings with them. It turned into them hiring me as a paralegal to help process paperwork for their Flint clients. But because I had the building came with me. They didn't really initially they weren't renting nothing from the building. They just had hired me. And because I had the building,
Right.
that I had a place for people to come. And then that morphed into them being able to actually lease the building in addition to hiring me. And that went from me using a few suites to as 2 freestanding buildings. One of the entire buildings now is the Napoli Skolnick Flint Intake Center.
Oh yeah, the building I came into.
That
I'm
you
sorry,
came
yeah,
in.
that's where I
And
met you at.
I got nurses hired now.
Right,
I have
yeah,
students
temperature
that
checks at the front door, everything.
Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, you can't come through that door without no temperature check. COVID not allowed. So we've been able to parlay. You can parlay real estate once you obtain it, especially commercial real estate, into an owner operated where you can get the maximum use out of it. You want owner operated if possible. It's easier to finance owner operated operations, you know, and it's a unique building, let me say, because it's an all bill paid building for the tenants on the other side. They rent out suites and the utilities is included. They have access to, they have they have security codes and like to get in and out. They can come when they want to. So it's a beautiful thing, man. It's beautiful for micro businesses.
I seen you go in there and turn that furnace off in that one suite. I said, oh, the bills must be included.
Yes.
He was like, it's the furnace on in here. I was like, I didn't even hear nothing. I was like, oh, Reggie on it.
Yeah. Well, you know, you try and keep a industry range of 69 to 72 winter or summer, which allows for comfort, but don't kill you on the bill. So, you know, there are things we can do to creatively make a building work for us, you know.
No doubt. That's, man, you just laid it out, man. I mean, you know, anybody that's interested in learning how to get into that commercial, he just really told you, you know, it's really about that owner financing and using that leverage. I mean, and once you have control of the assets, see, the owner financing, or what we call the land contracts here in Michigan, is going to give you put you in a position to be able to leverage a high value asset, which is important. And then, you know, obviously your net worth increases by the value of the asset. So when you get control of it, so you can get control of the asset, even a home, you know what I'm saying? Little to no money, you know, best you can negotiate. But then now you have, almost $500,000, you know, building. I mean, and with
half of that potentially in equity. And so now the equity is the same as money, because if you have 30% or more in equity, 25% or more in equity, if a building's worth, you know, 100,000 and you have 25,000 of it in equity, or if it's worth 200,000 and you have 50,000 of it in equity, then what happens is you can use that equity. If you see another piece of property that you want to buy and you have a relationship with your credit union or your bank, then what you telling me is, all right, this building requires a $25,000-$30,000 down payment. I have about 5,000 in cash, but I want to get a seller second on my equity for the purpose of the down payment. And if you can buy the building for lower than what it appraises for, potentially 70% of its value or less, then what you're able to do is get some of the cash out of the equity to close to actually cover what you borrowed to buy the building. So you end up getting your equity back at the closing, and you get another building with some equity. Always buy an asset that leaves you equity, because equity is like cash, is value. So it don't matter that you have some, and then if you can buy a property, especially if it's commercial, that already have some tenants in it paying rent. If there's enough tenants in there to service the note, then it's not about you, it's about that asset. And you can say, oh yeah, by the way, X amount of dollars is coming in off this building already. I'm getting ready to buy it. Your note gonna be this amount. After we get through subtracting the bills off this building, it's still enough money to pay your note. Oh, really? Guess what? You're gonna get financed. So it's just a matter of you doing a little bit of homework and then doing what they call the simplest financial is an income statement. How much is coming in, how much is going out. You know, when you start doing that on everything, you look to purchase, see how much is coming in, how much would be going out. That'll give you an idea of if you should buy that or not. You know, so it's not as difficult as it seems. See, you got all those credentials. You a real estate broker, you a real estate agent, you know, you a builder. So we have to stay connected with guys like you, because we have to be careful not to get caught up in the wholesale game and be making wrong moves that can either have us broke or in penitentiary.
You know, we were just talking about that, Reggie. I was just about to say, man, shout out to all my wholesalers out there doing your thing. I love you, you know, and this is just straight up, you know, you got to get educated. You know, you got to take the time to get educated on what you're doing, because my brother Reggie, man, right here, he's a paralegal. He's done dealt with some dudes that didn't do the real estate the right way, you know, and they're facing some serious situations. So, you know, we really want to help you. We want you to get involved, but, you know, you got to take the education, you know what I'm saying, first.
Yes.
You know, and then you can apply it to get money. You know, you don't want to just, you know, jump into something without knowing what you're really doing. You know, you're going to jump into the deep end of the pool without knowing how to swim. I mean, you know, that's not, you know, better at least have you a life jacket, and that life jacket is going to be either working with a mentor or, you know, getting some education the best way that you know how. But I recommend that you work with a mentor, man. We need more men like Brother Reggie over here, man. Tell them a little bit about more what you're doing with the citizens of Flint, man, and with the testing and all of that you got going on, man, because that's some very unique testing that you got going on, brother.
Yeah, so as the crow fly, once we got the intake center set up so Napoli Skolnick clients can have a place to come into to have their paperwork filled out, and then we get their paperwork packaged and sent up to New York for processing and final processing. What happened was, during this Flint water crisis, a lot of the doctors, quite frankly, in my opinion, dug a hole and stuck their head in the sand in terms of giving the residents of Flint the proper prognosis, on making a nexus or a connection between the ailments the residents are experiencing and what's actionable under color of law that they can get paid for. You look at a lot of people's medical records, you don't see no connection to the ailments that they're suffering from to the water crisis. And you know, our bodies are 3/4 fluid, 1/4 mass. And so water, especially bad water, can affect us in all kinds of ways. Even if you had high blood pressure, contaminated water can exacerbate or make worse the blood pressure you already have. So a lot of people's existing conditions were made worse. And I'm not a doctor, but one of the things was blood, and let me say this and I'll stop. If you get lead in your blood, 28 days after lead is in your blood, it starts to go out of your blood into your bones and into your organs. And so what happens is, you know, if you got contaminated in 2014 when the water crisis hit, and we was on Flint River water, April 25th, 2014 to October of 2016, and then we went back to the Great Lakes water, but it still was contamination occurring. These medical records don't reflect ailments. So the lawyers at Napoli Skolnick who did the 9/11 and they're you know, environmental attorneys, they went and found the experts, and one of the #1 bone lead experts in the country, Dr. Aaron Spake from Harvard, that one of the #1 pediatricians and one of the #1 neuropsychologists, Dr. Michael and Dr. Canfield from Cornell and Columbia, and they put together a bone lead test with a handheld scanner where we trained some nurses. I even got trained on administering this, and people could come in, there's no needles, no poking, no digging, and we can hold a handheld scanner up to their shin bone, look like a big Star Trek space gun, and hold that thing and trigger up their shin bone for about 3 minutes upload that data, and it can go back about 15, 20 years and tell us if any lead is in their system.
15,
and of course, if any lead in their system, we're going to attribute it to the Flint River. So a lot of adults and children who otherwise wouldn't be able to meet the standards of getting money for a personal injury lawsuit now are able to meet standards because we're able to show and prove that they had lead in a system. And so a lot of our clients, thousands and thousands of our clients have been tested in this Flint office. And there's only 3 places, by the way, that you can have this test done in the United States. One is at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York. Another place is Purdue University. And the third place is at our Flushing Road, Flushing Professional Suite building in Flint, Michigan.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible. I gotta give it to you, my brother, man. That's
we gotta help the people.
You're talking about impacting the community. That's impacting the community. And you know, I don't even think I told you, man, and a lot of people don't know, man, but I lived in Flint and I graduated. I lived in Flint for about 3 years, and I graduated from Flint Central. Yeah,
oh, wow. All right.
Class of 1992. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I do got love for Flint. You know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't stay up there, you know, but you know, after I got old enough, I was out. But yeah, man. But you know, I got love for Flint, man. I'm very concerned, man, for the people, man. So I'm so happy, man, that we got a brother. You know what I'm saying? That's looking out for, you know what I'm saying, each other. You know, that's what it's all about. You showing love, man. You showing love to us on this show today. We're gonna go on and wrap it up, man. We got the one and only Reggie Davidson, man. Go on and check him out. He's doing big things. I hope you learned something here today. And you know, stay tuned. We got more to come. This is How to Buy the Hood. Coach Anthony Legins, Reggie Davidson.
Yes.
We out.
We out.
What up? It's DJ Envy. Now, shout out to Real Estate Heat TV. They got the hottest new real estate channel. Shout out to my man, real estate coach Anthony Legins.
Hey, welcome to another episode of How to Buy the Hood. I am your host, coach, and mentor, Anthony Legins. And I am so excited to be able to bring another episode to you here today. But before I really get started, I want to give a shout out to my main man, Rec Room Remixes. B. Langster in the house doing his thing, laced me up with these super dope Superman shoes, customized, put my old rap name on the back. I used to rap back in the day. TCO, you know what I'm saying? So shout out Rec Room Remixes, man. Good looking out, my brother. That's how we build each other, you know what I mean? And that's what this is all about. It's about uplifting each other, helping us build and just build with each other as far as relationships go, and definitely build and grow in developing our communities and buying our neighborhoods and buying our houses and fixing them and getting them and restoring them back to decent, nice homes for nice families to move into. But tonight's episode, I really want to talk about experience I had a few years ago where I rapidly built $1 million real estate company in a 12-month period. It was actually like 18 months, but in a 12-month period, we did over $1 million. So I want to share this story. This is real life. I actually wrote an article about this. If you guys don't know, I'm also an author. I've been published in Entrepreneur's Handbook, 2 different articles. And I've also wrote several real estate books that you can Google and check out on Amazon. And also I'm giving away free copies of one of my best-selling books, the Detroit Real Estate Handbook, and you'll find the link below with the coupon to get it for free. So, but tonight I want to share with you an article that I wrote for Medium.com that was published in Entrepreneurs Magazine. It's called How I Made and Lost $1 Million in Real Estate. And this is how the story goes. So my story began when I was living in Detroit, and I had just gone through a rough divorce. It had felt like my life was falling apart, and I was depressed. My ex-wife was living in the house that we once owned together, and I was basically homeless, living in hotel rooms. This definitely wasn't the high point of my life or career, for that matter. But then I met Billy Sims, number 20, 1978 Heisman Trophy winner, and former All-Pro running back for the Detroit Lions. Now, by chance, I posted some Craigslist ads advertising homes for lease in Oakland County. And I figured that this was the quickest way to put some cash in my pocket because leases are easy to do, and I would earn a fast commission equal to half month of the rent, rather. But to my surprise, Billy contacted me about a home and said he was looking for a corporate lease so that he didn't have to stay in hotels every time he came to town. Now, he owns a few restaurants here in Michigan called Billy Sims Barbecue and also around the country. But and he also comes to town for autograph signings and personal appearances. Now, at first, I thought it was a hoax. However, I was invited to attend a fundraising event being held at Barry Gordy's old mansion in the Boston Edison Historic District in Detroit. And lo and behold, I met Billy Sims in person, and this was not a hoax. And we hit it off right away. And he invited me to attend another fundraising event that was being held downtown at the Yacht Club. And I met some few other celebrities there and also some politicians. And let me tell you, it was a fantastic day, to say the least. We began working together along with his partner named Chief. Now, Chief was very smart and ambitious. He was the brains to the operation and ran everything behind the scenes. I admired Chief, and during the time that we worked together, he was my mentor. They made me a minority owner in an investment company that they had recently formed. We met with and dealt with high-profile people and millionaires because of Billy's celebrity status. And things went on for about a year, but the company never took off like we wanted it to, and we didn't really make any money together. I have a young son and a daughter, and I was struggling myself from after my divorce. So I had to make the tough decision to part ways with Billy and Chief and focus on making some money. During the time we were working together, though, I wrote and published a book called the Detroit Real Estate Handbook. And at the time, it was titled Everything You Need to Know Before Investing in the Detroit Real Estate Market. Now, it had started off as a pet project, and I didn't really expect for it to make any type of impact, to be honest with you. But at the time, I just had a strong desire to get this information out to the public because I had seen so many investors over the years lose their shirt. I mean, they were falling victim to con men and basically didn't know what they were getting into. Little did I know that this book would open up the door and set the stage for me to start a new company that would gross over $1 million in a 12-month period. Now, a couple of months after publishing the book, I was contacted by a California investor that was working with a group of investors that were taking a hard look at investing in Detroit real estate. She wanted to hire me as a consultant to train her staff on the ins and outs of the Detroit real estate market and also act as a third-party consultant to their transactions. They wanted to make sure that they weren't being taken advantage of. And I don't blame them in Detroit. Initially, I would just take pictures and videos of properties for them. And I would provide a market analysis on the properties and determine after repair values for their potential investments. Now, they had already established contact with several local residential developers and would have me meet with them in person, actually, to conduct interviews for them. They eventually decided to work with a Canadian residential developer who also had several properties for sale in Detroit. Now, since the investors would only buy the properties based on my professional recommendations, I worked out an agreement with the developer to pay me a commission on the sales, and also negotiated with the investment group to allow me to represent them as a buyer's agent in the transactions for an additional fee. And then things got off to a booming start. The investors would fly into Detroit, and the developer and I would provide them with a tour of the city, showing them some of the nicer and historic neighborhoods of Detroit, including a tour of the developer's properties. Now, the investor group was very impressed and began to make offers on most of the developer's inventory. Now, problems began when the investor couldn't keep up with the demand. Now, he agreed that the properties would be rehabbed and tenant ready by the time of closing. However, he got overwhelmed by the huge demand, and there were serious delays in getting the properties rehabbed as he promised. I'm certain, that it was a cash flow situation causing the delay, but he would probably never admit to that. But things started to become tense between the developer and the investment group. This is when I sensed an opportunity. I thought, why don't I become a residential developer and sell my properties to the investors? It was a great idea. Now, however, there were two major problems. I didn't have any properties to sell them, and I didn't have any money. But I didn't let this stop me. The thought came to me to contact an investor that I knew. And he had purchased several investment properties with me over the years. Now, as a matter of fact, he was one of my very first clients when I got licensed back in 2004. And he was also a contractor. So I called him and talked about the opportunity and asked him if he wanted to get involved. Now, he agreed. So we worked out a deal that he would rehab a good investment property at his own expense, and I would then sell the property at market value to my investment group. We would then split the profits earned after expenses. Now, it was a win-win situation, actually a win-win-win situation. We completed our first project with success, and as agreed, we split the profits after expenses, and I immediately reinvested into another property. And we developed a similar program to the Canadian developer, but we also offer property management services. I would find great deals in good areas of Detroit. We would completely gut and rehab the properties, and then we would place tenants after the rehab was done. Now, since I had already earned the trust and respect of the California Investment Group, it was easy to sell them on the idea of our program. And we were off and running. Now, we continued to have success, and after 3 short months, we were bringing in over 100,000 to 150,000 gross sales per month. And business continued to grow, and new opportunities opened up for us to continue our success. However, about a year into our partnership, we butted heads. My partner was in charge of construction, and I was in charge of sales, acquisitions, and property management. Now, at the end of every closing, we would have a meeting and set aside the funds needed to acquire new properties and the funds to complete construction with ongoing projects. Minor issues started to turn into major problems. we were having delays on projects, and funds were coming up short. Now, in my eagerness to continue and keep things afloat, I severed our partnership and brought in a new partner. My new partner was an investor, not a contractor, so I assumed the mantle as head of construction. Now, at the time, my thought process was, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Now, that wasn't one of my best ideas. I decided to become a one-man show. I was in charge of sales, acquisition, construction, customer relations, and property management. I slowly became overwhelmed with all the new responsibilities. We were having success on the sales side, but things were unraveling on the construction and property management side. Now, although I had hired and brought in a construction manager and had assistants helping me, my lack of experience as a residential developer and my greed, to be honest with you, to make as much money as I could had consequences. And I began to buckle under the pressure. Now, to keep the investors buying, I was paying the rents on properties out of pocket because some tenants were either not paying or paying late. I didn't want to rock the boat and cause the investors to panic. Now, the final blow is when 7 of my properties were broken into and stripped of everything. And I mean everything except the carpet. They stole the kitchen cabinets, the countertops, the sinks, the toilets, the vanities, the furnaces, the hot water tanks, the plumbing, the electrical, everything. It was well orchestrated, and I had my suspicions on who was behind it, but I couldn't prove it. I lost tens of thousands of dollars due to these break-ins, and it basically put me out of business for good. I didn't have the funds needed to complete the construction projects. Then I lost the faith and confidence of my investors. And just as quickly as I made $1 million, I lost it right back due to poor decisions, greed, and lack of experience. I bit off more than I could chew, and it bit me right back in the rear. They say that hindsight is 20/20, so here are some takeaways from the hard lessons that I learned. Now, takeaway number 1, if you are having problems in your business partnership, first try to sit down and resolve your issues before taking drastic actions based on emotions. Takeaway number 2, invest in security for your vacant properties. Do not fail to take adequate security measures because property theft is a common occurrence and the losses can be devastating. Takeaway number 3, it takes more than one person to run and operate a successful development company. You can easily become overwhelmed if you try to do everything. Don't risk losing it all by being a one-man show. Takeaway number 4, don't let greed dictate your actions. There's a saying in the hood that all money ain't good money. Now, just because you can make fast money doesn't always mean that you should. Take all factors into consideration. A win-win or a win-win-win may actually just be a win for you. Takeaway number 5, honesty is the best policy. In hindsight, I should have let my investors know that tenants weren't paying the rents or were paying late instead of covering up and paying out of pocket. And if things were not going according to plan, show integrity and own up to this fact and accept full responsibility. Now, you may lose business as a result, but you will retain your respect and dignity. And, that's very true. This is a true story, very heartfelt. This was back around the 2014, 2015 era. And, I learned, some very hard lessons from that experience. And, I just thought that it'd be beneficial to share, because I've had to, over the years since then, rebuild my confidence in myself and my abilities, because it was devastating to have went from, at a period of time, bringing in 6 figures a month, to, bringing in, next to nothing a month. So, I mean, for a short period of time, that is. But, thankfully, back on my feet, we're doing great. Life is good, and I want to bring this knowledge to you, and, this is very much a passion of mine to share with you so that you can learn from me and the things that I've done and the mistakes that I made so that you can hopefully not make those same mistakes. And at the same time, draw from my successes and take those things and put them in practice. So, I was very aggressive in trying to buy the hood at the time, and I kind of bit off more than I could chew. So make sure that when you do begin to start taking advantage of opportunities in your neighborhood, that you build a good team around you. Give me a call, though. Give me a call. My number's down below. Let's talk about it. I'm a real estate coach. I'm also a consultant. I've consulted many businesses and different investors on how to structure their game plan to become the most successful. Actually, even help several investors over the years make millions of dollars. So, get with me. I can help you. I hope you benefited from how I made and lost $1 million in real estate. But let's stick to the made part. I want you to make that money. I know you can make that money. I believe in you. Let's buy the hood. Let's take things back under our control. Anthony Legins, and I'm out.
What up? It's DJ Envy. Now, shout out to Real Estate Heat TV. They got the hottest new real estate channel. Shout out to my man, real estate coach, Anthony Legins.
Hey, welcome to this episode of How to Buy the Hood. I am the host, Coach Anthony Legins, and I am so honored today to have a special guest, my co-host of the Armand and Anthony show, the one and only Mr. Armand right in the house.
What's happening, man? What's happening? What's up? Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I'm excited, my brother, man. We love to bring that heat, man, and ain't nothing like, man, teaching how to buy the hood, man, how we can take action in our communities now through real estate investing.
Yes.
So this is really a project of passion of mine. I'm very passionate about this, and I fall into the category too where I haven't done as much for my community as I would like to do. I have, rehabbed and managed and did a lot of things over the years, but I really want us to come together as a unit. You know what I'm saying? I want us to be able to unite and be able to take, massive action out here. It's wonderful to be doing the ones and dones, you know what I'm saying? Right. But we want to be able to have a more of a permanent, impact on what we're doing. What you think about that, brother Armand?
Man, I agree with you 100%. Like you saying, the one and dones, but even the one and dones are still impacting the community, but we want to go into make a deeper impact into the community because say, for example, what we mean by one and done, say, for example, you see a distressed property. As some people teach the technique of driving for dollars, and you see properties that's been distressed, that's been neglected for years. When real estate investors like ourselves and like you, we come along and you acquire those assets, and then you turn them around and you just kind of make the whole neighborhood look better, increase the value of all the properties in the neighborhood by buying them, rehabbing them, and putting in families, helping families, maybe get their first home, or helping an investor get their first investment property. It's really a beautiful thing, but we're looking to go deeper into the hood to have a greater impact so we can help build up our youth, our future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it's about.
Yes.
Definitely about the youth. We're the ones that have to set the example out here, and we have to blaze the trail for them to follow. For them to follow in our footsteps. And, today we want to talk about, how to gain access the quickest way possible, in our opinion, into the real estate game. And that's through seller financing, AKA land contracts.
Right.
So basically a land contract, you're buying the home, and it's similar to a mortgage where you would typically go to a bank, apply for a mortgage and get approved for a mortgage, and the bank would loan you the money, and then you'll be responsible for paying your monthly note every month on that loan. It's very similar, except the seller of the property is playing the role of the bank, and then they're basically going to finance you. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot looser restrictions to be able to get involved with the seller financing and the land contract aspect of the real estate game. So I know my man Armand here, he's a specialist in this. He specializes a lot in the lease to own and land contract type of deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him touch on that subject for us a little bit more.
Yes, I'm very passionate about the lease options, land contracts, and me and Brother Anthony, we were having a conversation before we started recording. Is just like we approach it the same, but we really operated a little bit different. Like say we both real estate agents and real estate brokers, so we both doing it, from a licensed perspective. But this is, once you see the story, you guys will really appreciate it. So say, for example, one of my favorite strategies, whether I'm doing it for myself or for an investor or for a homeowner, is the exit strategy on selling a property through a land contract. And one of the benefits from an owner standpoint, so say, for example, you have this distressed asset and you may have a mortgage on it that you owe more than what it's worth. And it's this distress. So you can't rent it out and nobody's going to pay you cash for it because it's not worth it. So I set up a situation where they can sell it on a land contract, and the person that's buying it is responsible for all the repairs and the upkeep. It's really a beautiful thing, because again, we're having the wins all the way around. Let's start with one win. It's for the neighborhood. You got this distressed asset that's being attracted, people that, maybe vandalize it or, just keep it real, drug addicts or whatever. So now we get to eliminate that because we bring in somebody that's going to repair that property, bring up the value of the neighborhood, make the neighborhood safer. The owner is getting a win because they getting to liquidate this distressed asset. Then the person that's buying the property may not have the cash, doesn't have all the cash to pay for it all at once. They could come in with a low barrier of entry. They get a house that they can appreciate and fix up and live in. It's really a beautiful strategy.
Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is, definitely. And, like Armand had just said, we were talking about the show because before the show, about our different approaches with it, because I like to use land contracts to acquire my investment properties.
Yes.
A lot of most of my, if I haven't been able to buy them cash, I usually negotiate deals with the owners of the properties to buy them on land contract. And with the land contracts, it's really up to what you're able to negotiate. It's nothing set in stone. A lot of people say that, 10% down, 20% down, and these different type of things, but it's really negotiable. It's really up to the seller and what you and the seller can negotiate, because I've done several deals with where I've acquired properties with zero down. Yeah. And I've also helped other clients of mine acquire properties for zero down. on a land contract. So it's a lot of creative ways that things can be done to buy these properties out here,
Yes.
you know? And once you have it on land contract, you own the property, like our mom was saying, like, you know, you're the owner, you're responsible for the repairs, you know, you're responsible for the taxes, the insurance, everything. You're the owner, just like if you're buying it from a bank and paying a mortgage, you're the owner.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's so great about land contracts. And a lot of times it's not dependent on credit. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, you have to have a maybe, you know, 620, 640 credit score to get financed with the bank. You know, that might not even be a factor between the deal that you negotiate with you and the seller, you know, or the owner of the property. You know what I mean? So you can, you know, work something out. You know, you can work things out, no money down, or you could work out the down payment so that is broken down into installments over, you know, the course of time.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot of different things that really I can teach you, and our mind can definitely teach you.
Yes.
You know, if you want to get with us on the coaching, but you know, this is really about, you know, how to buy the hood, and we really want to tell you like how this is one of the best ways. If you don't have the cash, like to just be able to just grab up what you can grab, you know, land contracts is one of your best routes to go about becoming an owner and taking ownership in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? What you think, Armand?
Man, I agree with you 100%. Because when you talk about the land contracts, the owner financing, what we teaching you to do is more than just doing a real estate transaction. We teaching you how to set up a business. Now, once you set up a business, you can. This is a business that's going to take care of you. This is a business that you could pass down to your children, or you know, like I do. You know, I teach my children how to build a business on their own. So it's a, you know, transferable skill. But that the land contracts, the owner financing is a very unique skill that I strongly suggest that you learn. And I strongly suggest that you learn from either myself or Brother Anthony.
Hey, man, you know, and on that note there, if you look down at the link down in the description below, I want to give all of our viewers today the opportunity to download a free copy of my book, How to Buy a Land Contract. I wrote this book a number of years ago to help my clients because I was always, you know, explaining everything to my clients. And I thought that, hey, why don't I just put this in a book? Here you go, you know, and that you have something to reference. You know what I'm saying? So there's some terminology in there. It's explaining what a land contract is and different everything really that you really need to know to be able to take advantage to start buying land contract homes today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely get that book.
Hey, you know, go ahead. I'm gonna give you the link where you can download it for free with a free coupon. You know what I'm saying? It's for sale right now through all the major book retailers, Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, and all of that, along with my other book, the Detroit Real Estate Handbook, How to Profit and Win Buying Properties at a Bargain. And right now, actually, you can go to my website at anthonylegins.com under my book section and download that book for free. Nice. And that book was selling for $19.95 for years. So, you know, I want you to go ahead and take a look at that one too, man. And that's really about the hood. If you're talking about how to buy, you know, properties in Detroit, I'm putting you up on so much game in there.
Yes.
You know, and not just basically about on Detroit, but it's just practical knowledge and useful knowledge that you can take and start applying right now. That's put you far ahead of the game, because I'll share things in there that even some real estate agents probably don't even know. So, you know, go on and check that out, you know. But man, I want Armand to go on and shout out your company, your business, and what you do, brother. Go on and put yourself out there for us, for the people.
All right. Well, my company is the Right Team What we do, we are full service real estate brokers where we do the coaching, we got property management, then we do the traditional buy and sell properties ourselves. And as well, we're investors. We look for deals. So if you guys want to reach out to us, you can always reach us on a business line, which is posted below. Hit us up, 765-400-2768. Give us a call. We take care of you.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, I think we dropped some serious heat for y'all today. I'm trying to tell you, I hope y'all picked up on this game, rewind it, you know what I'm saying? Take some notes, because I'm telling you, we told you some stuff today, man, that you can really start taking some action on. And then in addition to the additional material that we're providing for you here, and then always, call Armando, all right, you know what I'm saying? Get with us. You know what I'm saying? Get with us on the coaching tip, because
absolutely,
we got this knowledge. We want to share it with you. We want to help you be successful.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We want you to be successful, not just in real estate, but in life. You know what I'm saying? We care about you. We thank you for watching. My name is Anthony Legins. This is How to Buy the Hood. Got my man, special guest, Armand, right in the house. You know what I'm saying? Join us on our next episode. We're going to bring more heat, more knowledge to you. And we out.
There's a YouTube channel you will want to subscribe to, Real Estate Heat TV. Real Estate Heat TV is destined to be the hottest new real estate channel around. They provide original content and shows in an innovative, creative, entertaining, and educating way. The concept is to provide a supreme platform for other real estate related channels and businesses to promote their respective businesses while providing the heat by sharing their knowledge, wisdom, and their expertise. Coaches Armand and Anthony bring the latest heat from the streets in the real estate industry, covering a broad and diverse range of topics, all geared towards helping you gain entry and have sustainable success in real estate. Real Estate Heat TV, the hottest new real estate channel. Check it out online at realestateheat.tv or on YouTube at Real Estate Heat TV. Share the channel on all of your social media so your friends can subscribe too. What are you waiting for? realestateheat.tv and Real Estate Heat TV on YouTube. Subscribe now.
Welcome to this episode of How to Buy the Hood. I am your host, real estate coach and mentor, Anthony Legins. This is Real Estate Heat TV, the hottest new real estate channel. And we aim to bring you the hottest new information, the hottest new techniques, the hottest new strategies. But this show right here in particular, is focused on how to buy the hood. How to buy the hood, because, as an African-American male, I have a personal and heartfelt concern for the struggles that we're going through right now, and all of the things that we're facing, the challenges that we're facing, all of the backlash and everything that's been going on lately in the news and around the world, and even just for our history, if you know what I'm saying. But, I wanted to create something special just for us. I wanted to be able to take my real estate knowledge, because if you don't know, I'm a licensed real estate broker, and I'm also a licensed residential builder. So I have a lot of knowledge in the real estate arena. I've done wholesaling, buying, fixing, flipping, selling, traditional real estate, non-traditional real estate. I've done all types of real estate. I've done deals for myself, deals for other clients, and made lots and lots of money out here, with my knowledge and my experience. And it's taken a long time. I've been in this for over 17 years. It's taken me a long time to learn these type of things, but now it's time. It's time to share this with you. And for all of those who want to learn how they can become active in real estate so that they can then take that knowledge and apply it to improving their community or giving back in a special way to the neighborhoods that they grew up in. You may be able to just buy one house at a time and fix and flip it and provide a beautiful home for one family, which is an incredible thing. Or you may be able to get together and form a partnership and buy apartment buildings and complexes and things of that nature, or take vacant strips of land in desolate parts of our neighborhoods and build new housing and provide affordable housing for our people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this show is all about. It's about teaching you how to get involved, motivating you to get involved, because that's important, giving you the knowledge so that you have that confidence to take action, because that's what's required out here, is taking action. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring special guests. I'm going to bring people that are active in this real estate field, local experts from around the world, different investors that are doing their thing and that are making it happen right now in their local communities. Up on our next episode, we have the wholesale diva coming on. She's doing big things out here. You know what I'm saying? Out in Scottsdale, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona area. On our next episode, soon to come, gonna have my man Reginald Davison from Flint. That's out there, man. He's getting those people that's been suffering from that lead-based paint. I mean, not lead-based paint. I'm sorry. I'm so real estate right now. But that lead in the water. He's been one helping people getting grants and helping getting people to clean water and setting up distribution centers and doing it big, man. Helping people get ready to get their claims, because Flint, you know, the residents of Flint just won, you know, a tremendous size lawsuit. So he's helping position them for that. And we have other great community leaders, soon to have celebrity guests, everything. This is how to buy the hood. I'm going to teach you what you need to know. Stay tuned. And hey, I'll talk to you soon. Till next time. I'm Anthony Legins. Peace.